Hey guys, it's Avenger, welcome back to the channel. And today, we have our first real review of an aircraft. And you know what? I already have to click off the ready to fly screen because it's being special. We're here at Friday Harbour. Very close to my favourite place in the world we're going to today. We're heading up to, of course, Orcas Island. Now that's stock scenery, but Friday Harbour is updated. And this is the Auster Autocrat. Now this is not a paid add-on, this is a freeware add-on. In fact, it released for 2020 just before 24 came out. So it was completely lost in the shadows. Now the Autocrat itself is a little three-seater, single-engine, high-wing touring monoplane made by Auster Aircraft in Rearsby, Leicestershire, in England. It is quirky, it is British, it is very, very odd. They ground loop like an absolute machine. They're not fully parked until you're in the bar and it's in the hangar. And you can and will lose your fingers on the flap mechanism. It is quintessentially British and dangerous and inefficient and silly, but it's also beautiful. And it's in flight sim 24 now. Now, this thing is powered by a, wait for it here, a Blackburn Cirrus Minor 4-cylinder air-cooled inverted inline piston, putting out 100 horsepower with a two-bladed fairy reed metal or Weybridge wooden fixed propeller. Max speed of about 120 miles an hour, cruises at 100, stalls at 30. We're talking 100 knots, 187 knots, and 6 knots. And that's true crew with flaps down. And she has a range of 320 miles or 280 nautical miles. She's not big and she's not clever, but she's lovely. Now, this is originally an old add-on. This is not a 2028 native add-on. Well, it was updated to 2020. But the original model comes from someone we know quite well, Dave Garwood, in the FSX era. Well, Dave originally made this aircraft for FSX, and it was a beloved aircraft of many FSX simmers. So this is a bit of sim archaeology for you, if you will. And the reason I bring it up is because plenty of add-ons from FSX didn't last very long. Let's get inside here, shall we? They were dated. And this one is not amazing either. But it's more than good enough for free. And it's a differentiation I will always make there. It is more than good enough. And we'll talk more about it as we go. But battery on there. My mags are both on. And let's see if I actually have checklists in this. Does it actually have checklists included? My god, we actually have checklists included. Look at this. See? Parking brake, yeah. Fuel switch is off. Okay, is this actually for the right aircraft? It doesn't feel like it's for the right aircraft. I think they're just... No. No, honey, these aren't the right checklists. So we'll do this ourselves, that's fine. Fuel here on. It's our starter. That's our primer. Let's make sure our mixture's actually on there. Okay, we'll crack the window here, which do work. Crack the throttle. Clear prop. The sounds aren't everything to write home for. It's got no GPS. It's got no autopilot. It's got a whiskey compass down here, which you can use. And it's got windows, most importantly. Now, like I said, made by Dave Garwood in the olden days. And Fly and Drive upgraded it to 2020 and has since brought it up to 2024 standard. There's this version with normal wheels, and there's also a bush tyre version, which has a bigger Lycoming 0320 and 7 liveries. And I'll show you liveries and things after this. Which will be my first time doing this in 2024, by the way, for a review type video. Full body collision meshes to enhance interactions with the aircraft, of course, the walk around features. It doesn't have various walk around functions, maybe yet. They may add them, who knows. But it is, of course, those features will be unavailable in 2020's version. But there you go. So we may see it updated, we may see things added to it, but it's available, and I will put a link in the description for you. Let's go take it for a quick fly. We're going to talk about this aircraft, we're going to talk about payware, freeware, and other factors as we do it. But honestly, I want to trip down memory lane. And this little aircraft is absolutely just that. It's low, it's slow, it is free, and it's a fun little airplane to fly. And in these early days of 24, where we don't have a lot of things out, it's worth a crack. Because like I said, it may not look like an A2A aircraft or a Coronado aircraft or this new standard that is the stock aircraft in the sim. But it was made once upon a time with love. And that love has surprisingly held reasonable standard. Because I've seen worse. Granted, it does look pretty dated these days, but it's not terrible. And it was just an update in terms of model material systems by Fly and Drive. The model and textures are the original still. It gets a little bit squirrely on the takeoff roll. But she lifts away nicely. Now we don't have differential sound from the open windows, so you want to have those open? You can. Can I open my doors? Not that one. No, in flight, there's our third seat. It's literally a bucket seat in the back there. And there's that dastardly flap mechanism that will take a finger off if you're not careful. Whoopsie daisy. So our flight today to Orcas Island is literally a case of turn around, head north. And there are still some bugs with the aircraft, but of course they are working on various things, and right now we are turning to face north here. I'm not sure what this is. It's definitely not a compass. Is it speed? It might be my speed. Let's slow down. Whoopsie daisy. Is this speed? No, I'm definitely slower than 70 knots right now. Of course, this is from the era of aircraft where you didn't exactly have a speedo because it didn't matter. It wasn't part of what you were doing. It's Friday Harbour down below us. And it's the perfect aircraft for exploring these places and areas and just looking at the scenery, enjoying it, seeing what it all looks like, and floating above it all. And of course, there you go, there's a bank angle indicator. She grab handle. See? Does it work with pitch? It does work with pitch. Does it work with this one? Yeah, see? That can tell you your attitude. You can fly IFR with a grab handle. Perfect. So, like I said, is it big? Is it clever? Not even slightly. It's small, obtuse, inefficient, noisy, outdated, ill-equipped. But it's fun. And we've not had one before. We had a couple of Austers and other vintage aircraft in FSX even. I'm getting my versions mixed up here. And yeah, we had lots of aircraft there. And this is where this first came out. But in the era of 2020, we never got an Auster. And I'd always wanted an Auster Autocrat again. Because I had a little soft spot in my heart for it. Little 40s vintage aircraft that really just had no place being in a modern flight sim, but there were so few around and you'd spot them occasionally in England that it was such a nice thing to see that I truly liked having that be part of our sim world. For its time, this is a very excellent freeware model. For an FSX freeware, this was absolutely on par, on standard, a great add-on. It's aged, yes. The texture resolution isn't that high, the materials are updated, poly count isn't that high, but you know what? I don't think that detracts from it at all. I'll be focusing a lot in 2024 here on not just the payware market that we see, but also freeware aircraft coming to the sim. Well, sure, you can go download it and fly it. I see it as part of my responsibility to platform freeware where I can find it, and it won't be every single aircraft, but if something catches my eye, I'll grab it and I'll take it for a fly for you. And I will try and platform these things and show you what they can do. And show you someone who's working hard to make a cool thing for our sim world. Because that's super unique to me. That's super important that we have not just the payware developers, but the freeware developers out there too, who are making things we'll enjoy. And yeah, maybe we'll see a payware developer knock this one out of the park. Give us an incredible aircraft. I won't really care that much though, because I've got my fix on this. And outside, it's a decent model. Up the texture resolution, even just redo some of the interior textures and you'd be on a pretty good deal. Because it's not far from being kind of like this in real life. They're airy. You will get blasted with cold air from every direction in this thing. You'll end up cold, cramped. The seats are not comfortable. Yes, those two little pedals down there are your brakes. Yes, those are your brakes. Toe brakes separate from the actual rudder pedals. They're there, see? Those are just rudder pedals. These are our flight controls. These are the cables. We have lights, and we have a battery, a primer, a starter, our mixture, our fuel cutoff, and our mags. And that's about it. And yeah, sure, the pilot is invisible, which is a slight problem. But maybe we'll see that with an update. Now, I remember Dave Garwood making a lot of great aircraft that I really enjoyed, and I'm pretty sure it was him that made the Dove, which ended up getting pulled. Because, again, it wasn't FS 2020 standard. People got so needy and so convinced they had to have the latest, greatest, best, most amazing, high-fidelity aircraft ever released from even Freeware. And frankly, that's just ridiculous. Yeah, the Freeware market is going to vary. Chances are it won't be as good as Payware. You'll get one or two that are. But the fact is, people are putting their hard work and effort into making planes we just don't get otherwise. And I say, release whatever you like. It doesn't have to be amazing. If it's good enough, I'll fly it and I'll enjoy it. Because it's good enough for me. This is good enough to get some real enjoyment out of. This is my first time flying into Orcas Island in 24. Haven't yet. Hoping Orcas will release their update of that airport, because the default scenery at most airports isn't fantastic, so we'll have to see what it's like here. I'm nervous. What about you? We'll join on the base to our final run in here. The same landing approach we always shoot. I think it's over 3-4 there. So we'll just come around to the side here. We'll come in from the pattern side. So it's the right traffic here. But being low and slow does give you the benefit of really enjoying the environment and the scenery. Let's just see what we're looking at and enjoy it and just have a good experience. And if you really care for GPS, you've got at least this. Which, I'm still working out some of these buttons, you know. There we go, see? If you're really insistent, you've got a GPS in your pocket, see? And it's happy to see you, I'm sure. No autopilot, but really, autopilot in this. Orcas Island. Mod information. There we go. Weather. Frequencies, useful. Runways. Oh yes, radio. Lol. What are one of those? 16 and 3-4. We'll take in 3-4 as our recommended runway, so we're going to go to our right. We'll join in for the base leg to our final. We could shoot straight, but that's boring. Lots of informaciones. We like that. Now, I did get this aircraft in 2020, right before 24 came out, and I flew it around a little bit, and I was very nostalgic. It felt like good memories. And I thought, you know what? When things have settled down a little bit with 24, and the numbers again, I'll get these right eventually. When 24 came out, I thought, I'll let it settle down, and I'll go back and take a look at it, especially once they said they were going to update it. Because I was going to review it in 2020. But they went ahead and updated this to 24. They made it compatible. And hopefully future updates will see it add more features and capabilities for this sim. Maybe. It may not. It'd be nice if it did. But to get two versions, a regular tired and a bush tire, two different engine models, bunch of liveries, and a plane that looks more than good enough. Again, for its time in FSX, this was a fantastic little release. Absolute cherished little gem. And it flies very well in this sim. I highly encourage you to go download it. Hopefully we'll encourage the developer to actually put some work into it for the 24 version, which I'd be more than pleased to see. Notch your flaps down. Okay, rolling in here. She's a very decent aircraft on the approach, but we have to watch out for the ground loop on the actual touchdown. Second notch flaps. We'll let this thing just drift in here, nice and slow. Power's here idle. Nothing major to worry about. Hands are off the controls right now. Nice and simple. Nice and simple. Okay, a little bit of power here for our final approach. Just a smidge. We can go pretty slow, so we're going to let it settle down now. Bit of a bump there. Yeah, it's not quite the FSX Orcas, but for now, it's our old familiar. Runway looks the same, though. Same displacement on the threshold. Let's have a little fun here, actually. There we go, touchdown. Am I on one wheel? We're on one wheel. We're on one wheel. Oh. Let's roll her onto the other one. Oh, that's grass. That's grass. That's grass. Okay, we'll put the wheels down now. We're tempting fate. We're tempting fate. Let's not do that. That's me trying to join the flying circus. But yes, I feel comfortable putting the aircraft on one wheel in this thing. It flies very nicely. Okay, there we are. It's also probably best to do that maneuver without flaps deployed. Because with flaps it gets a little bit spongy. Yeah, it's definitely not the Orbex scenery. That's for sure. But you do recognise parts of it if you actually look at it. Not those ridiculous hangars, of course. Those look ridiculously huge. But just past here, you will recognise, if you're used to my review videos. Oh, you know what? It's safer in the hangar, in the cockpit even. Now the fuel box is somewhere over there, and right now in the sim, but the actual one is about here. See, there's the sim one. The real one is here, and there's the alley of hangars, which is the one that's always open in Orbex there. In fact, you can even see where the real one is. There, see? Or part of it. So it's not great, but it's stock scenery. What do we expect? Really? So yes, that is the Auster Autocrat, and I want to see what it's actually like to be in there. No, I have to use this to look around, but I can use my head to actually first person myself around. That's weird. I'm turning this off now. Yeah, it's not big, it's not clever, it's not amazing, but it's a fun little plane. And it's free. If they even added anything else to this, it'd be fantastic. Let's go take a look at those liveries and the versions. It's like every 2024 add-on. This, of course, is in the menu here. One version. Configure. And we have our regular Auster Autocrat with our... Oh, sorry, this is the one here. With our liveries, we have the white. And we have the cream with extra slots. This is British from the 40s. We didn't get very exciting when it comes to our designs of aircraft. I have to go back into it there for a second. And here's our Tundra model with big bush tyres and a Lycoming engine in there. Still too below prop. We do have the pitot cover on that one. Oh, no, we don't. That's not quite. Liveries. We've got yellow. We've got cream. Oh, we've got as a camo one. I'm sold. Grey, yellow stripes, red stripes. So we get 7 liveries for this. We get 3 for the regular one. 2 different versions of engines and wheels. And it's free. Go support some Freeware developers. Go enjoy a plane just because it's fun to fly. Because that's all that really matters, isn't it? Thanks for watching. Bye.